What's up, y'all? We are back here for another episode on the Jam Pod. I got the folks with me today, man. All my friends here that we actually went to this place here, New York Comic Con. A really fun experience, and I want to talk about it with some good people. So let me introduce everybody real quick before I get started. What I will say to wrong button. What I will say though is this is episode 12, season 2 of the Jam Pod. And I think I'm going to stop putting us on Apple and Spotify and all your podcasting platforms. I think I'm just going to bring y'all the visuals on YouTube. It's more fun that way. I get people to come on and it's a lot more guests that way. So we just going to stick with the YouTube for now. The algorithms be algorithming. But first and foremost, let me introduce my friends, my beautiful guest here with me today. Got my good friend Josh. How you doing today, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great. How are you?
Can't complain, man. You know, life is life. Sometimes is living me, but sometimes
Yeah,
I live life. So that's how we do, man.
I
You
feel
know,
that.
cause man, this is my first time having you. Well, actually, this is everybody's first time being on. Josh and Alicia, you guys came on for like a live before, but this is
hmm
y'all first time on a podcast. But cause, do you go by cause, by the way? Like, is that what do you go by, bro?
I mean, most people just like call me my name, like in day to day life. But like when I'm at like cons and stuff, I either get like my username or Grid Boy, which is um not as fun. But
No grid boy.
yeah, I have been addressed as Grid Boy a couple times.
That's crazy. That's crazy. No
Yeah,
grid boy here, bro. But I go by. I call you Cause because that's what I knew you by. What is your
yep.
actual name?
It's Brandon.
Brandon. Not Cause. We gonna go with Cause. I feel like that gives us a little bit more of a better rapport between each other. You know. How are you, bro? It's your first time here with me. We actually get to talk about it. We met for our first time in person at New York Comic Con really quickly in passing, so that was cool. But how are you, bro?
I'm doing great. It's been a very chill day. I just moved to Colorado, so I'm still kind of like adjusting, but pretty good day so far.
Yeah, yeah. Well, again, glad to have you on. And Alicia, my best friend, what's good? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to
Yeah,
be here.
yeah. Let's get started, y'all, man. I wanna before we always get started, I got this idea from my friends over at Agents of Fandom. So shout out to Agents of Fandom podcast. Um, they do a segment called "What You Watching," but I'm such a big nerd, and as y'all know, I do a little bit of everything. So I always like to ask people, "What are y'all nerding out to?" So Alicia, I'll kick it right back over to you. What are you nerding out to? What is something that you've been doing?
It's gonna be the same thing as I said before, Marvel Rivals. Like it has not changed. I play that every single day. Um, Jam, you're lacking because I haven't seen you play with me in a while, but that's okay. And then of course, the second thing is Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. We found this at New York Comic Con. So yeah, I'm invested. I'm invested. Like
We're gonna have to talk about that.
we definitely
I think
will.
I, I think I saw the booth when I was walking through.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah,
long line. We were in there for a minute.
yeah. We're gonna have to talk about that. Cause what you been nerding out to, brother? Let us know. Let the good people know what you've been on.
Oh, just a lot of comic books all the time. I've basically made it a job now. So if I'm not reading, I'm not working. Um, but that's pretty much it. I was playing some video games a little bit ago. Ordered some pizza. That was cool. It's been a yeah
What you
pizza and
playing? What
gas.
games you playing?
I was playing Madden.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from the sports games. My boys be trying to get me in 2K, Madden, boxing. I'm like UFC. I'm like, I'm gonna stick to my Ghost of Yote, man. I'm just gonna try to explore this world, you know.
Is it good? I've heard really good things about it.
Phenomenal. Highly
Really?
recommend if you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, recommend that as well. Recommend Ghost of Yote. And just like you, bro, I read a lot of comics, but you're not gonna be happy with me. You're gonna lose a little bit of faith in me. I'm like a month behind on my like weeklies. I'm very
It
far
happens.
behind.
With how much stuff is being released like every single week, it happens.
Yeah, it's been a tough time. Josh, what are you nerding out to? Because you're the biggest geek I know at this point. Like,
Hey, listen, this is my favorite time of year, so I'm definitely nerding out on my Halloween stuff right now. Um, that includes Marvel Zombies. most definitively. I was really happy with that little mini series that we got. And I think like this is always a great time as my son gets older. I love to start showing him kind of some of my favorite horror movies and stuff like that. So that's what the rest of this month is going to be about for sure.
Hey, that's what I like to hear. CJ, you guys know CJ. Cause this is a close friend of ours that we all work together with. But CJ hit me up. He's like, because he's a horror guy. He's like, yeah, we gotta do some things on the pod for like the spooky season. So Josh, I'm hoping you'll come back and talk with us. We're trying to talk about Scream because I've never seen
Okay.
those movies. So
Yeah, for sure.
we're gonna go do a little binge on Scream. But we are not here to talk about Scream. We are here to talk about New York Comic Con. We all went. Yeah. Show the people. Show the people. Show the people. We went, and it was a blast. I think this might have been. I've mentioned it to you guys, and cause this is my first time telling you, but I think this was my favorite con that I've ever been to. Might have actually been one of the best cons I've been to, and I've been going since like around 2018 or 2019. I always forget, but it was just phenomenal. It was really big. A lot of guests, celebrity, and fans. It was just really huge. So I want to dive into it and talk about some of the things that we did at con and what we were experiencing. Our whole overall experience. Um, my first question to y'all is, what were your con goals and were they accomplished? So I'll tell you, mine personally was to kind of fill this pin board. And so as you can tell, it's not even close. So no, my goals was not accomplished. I also wanted to get like a superhero themed lunchbox, and you can ask Elisha, who was with me the whole time. I did not mention that once because I forgot about it when I was at the con. Um, so my
We
con
saw like
goals,
three, bro.
Yeah, there was a
I think
lot.
I saw a couple
I
too.
I just didn't. I just was so. That's my issue. So my con goals were not accomplished, and one of my biggest issues I realized with this con for me is I just get so caught up in everything. It's like that child that's just like like stargazing, and that's kind of how I feel. So Josh, I'll kick it right back over to you. What were your con goals, and were they accomplished?
Yeah, so it was to cosplay each day, and have backup cosplays for any after parties or anything like that. Um, it was to not go too wild with spending, and find some cool stuff and just have a good time. Last time I did New York Comic Con, I was on the tail end of COVID, so I didn't really get to enjoy the whole thing as much as I wanted to. So this time, I was ready, and I did. I cosplayed all 4 days. I went to an after party, rooftop after party, and I had an additional cosplay for that. I got to meet some cosplayers that I've never met in person, which was awesome. Got to meet a ton of people in great costumes and take pictures and just really share in our fandoms. So that was it, and I had fun. I had a blast.
Man, when you kick it to us like that, how can I say that my goals weren't accomplished? Because all of that happened for me too. I was there
There you
with
go.
you. So, like just the experience of meeting all the fans, the community that this nerddom I like to say brings us is especially on the internet when it's a lot of negativity, always coming together in cons is and seeing all the positivity is just it's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's a really nice space. So yeah, I guess I could say mines were semi accomplished as far as the spiritual aspect of it. Maybe not the budget like you said or the financial aspect, which we'll get to later. But Kaz, how about you? What were your goals, bro? And then were they accomplished?
My goals were mostly signatures, specifically Dan Mora, just because I had missed him at New York City Comic Con like 2 years ago. New York City Comic Con was my first ever con, and then now this is my second time going, and I did. I got there like 45 minutes early for his signing. I waited there, and then the line just got super long after, because it was Dan Mora. But yeah, I brought like 25 single issues for him to sign, which I know was a pain in the butt, but I didn't know if I was going to see him at another con. Uh, I would told him I was like the stack was 50, so I really cut it down. But yeah, so that was really my only like strict goal is I wanted to get my Dan Moore stuff signed, and I got it all signed.
That's what I like to hear, man. You that was my first con was also New York Comic Con, and I also went with a very ginormous stack my first con, but this time and every con after that, I've always tried to be like mindful of like people that I know are gonna do that because I'm one of those people just like you, bro. I'm gonna do it every time. This time, and Alicia was my witness, bro. I had like 5 comics for Jackson Lansing. I had 4 or another 5 for Al Ewing. Like these were people that are kind of like some of my favorites, or I've had them on the pod before. And so I also met Dan Moore last year, New York Comic Con. I got some like the all in special and some stuff signed from him. So I'm just like you, bro. I was something that was on my goals. Again, another checklist, I guess, off of my accomplishments because I was there trying to get everything signed as well. And I got it. I got it. There was one thing I missed. I think it was a one book that Jackson Lansing missed that I wanted him to sign, but I'm not like after getting to talk with him again, I'm not pressed about that. You know what I mean? Alicia, I already know your goals, but the people need to know what were your goals and were they accomplished?
Did I have a goal? I feel like I was there for the vibes, you know?
As always.
You know, I exactly because I was last minute, you know, I didn't have a cosplay, so I was like, I'm just gonna have a good time with my 2 favorite people up here. And I feel like that, if anything, that was the goal and it was accomplished. I had a good time. I didn't overdo it with spending because you know I like to just buy like cute little things to add to my life. Yeah, so it was great. I had a great time. Yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
here for sure.
You are good. I mean, that was a question I was gonna have for y'all at the end. So you got that out right out the way. Uh, there was a lot. It was a lot. We spent a lot of money for sure. But there was also a lot of announcements and like panels and stuff that
Mhm.
I felt was very big this year, opposed to you like at least last year. Last year for me kind of felt I don't want to say lackluster. That's a bad choice of words, but a little bit more minimal. And Josh is gonna hold that against me because I tell him I'm a minimalist all the time. But last year was a little bit more minimal than I would have liked for a con, especially a New York Comic Con to be. This year, everybody, I mean everybody, Marvel, DC, Image, I mean toy companies, everybody with video game companies, they were all clothing companies. They just were all firing on. I mean, clothing companies. This is clothes from the. This is merch from the con. Josh got merch from the con on. Like everybody was firing on all cylinders. I felt like everybody came ready to play. Like we got some stuff to talk about. So I want to talk about a little bit of that stuff. What was your, if you had one, a favorite panel or announcement? I could tell y'all off the bat. For me, it was easily the DC stuff. Seeing how they were just coming out crazy with the comic stuff, I was like, "Whoa." I was not expect like I kind of felt like I was expecting a little bit less only because of the absolute line, which cause you know how that's going and how great it is and stuff. So I was a little I wasn't expecting for them to I mean Vertigo, just the whole and I guess I kind of was, but the whole relaunch of Vertigo was just outstanding. And then on the flip side, I would say like the TV and movie side, Marvel came out crazy. I mean, Daredevil Born Again season two's trailer, X-Men 97's trailer, all of these like con exclusive stuff. We got the announcement of Vision Quest. Like they weren't playing. They weren't playing. So I would say between those two, I'm a little bit tied because the comic book, the reader in me really loves what DC is doing lately. These past, I want to say like 4 years, 5 years, maybe. They've really just been. I feel like they're on a different time. But on the flip side, Marvel is still holding their own as far as you know with all the negative press they get with DC. Excuse me, with like I don't know, just like all the negative press they get online. I think they found their little groove, especially with that Wonder Man trailer that they released at Con and playing into the fact of the meta world. Are you superhero fatigued and all of that? I think that's gonna be one of those ones that really grasp people. So those were my two favorite things. Kaz, I want to kind of change up the rotation a little bit and kick it to you first. Did you have a favorite panel or like announcement that was happening at this con? Oh, might be glitching a
You cut
little
out. Were
bit
you
out.
talking to me?
Yes, sir. My bad. My bad. Yeah, I was
Oh,
talking to you. If you had like a favorite panel or like
what was my
announcement.
favorite announcement?
Yeah.
Oh,
My stuff.
um, Definitely the DC comic stuff, like with DC Next Level and kind of all the new titles that got announced, like the new Deathstroke one. Uh, Batwoman's getting a solo again, Etrigan. Characters that we haven't seen have a solo in 10+ years. So that was
Mhm.
pretty cool. And then just like the crossover stuff, like Swamp Thing and Something is Killing the Children is an insane crossover. Um, and then like the stuff that's coming into DCKO with like Homelander and Sub Zero, all that. Just DC really like amped it up when it came to the comic announcements. I'm not super caught up on all the Marvel announcements yet, like the film and TV stuff. But I heard they were pretty good.
Yeah, you're my DC guy, man. I feel like I always between my friend Dead, that's part of the alternate timeline, and then your page, I'm always like learning more about DC stuff that I don't even really know about. And I love DC. Josh knows. I tell him all the time. I grew up with DC stuff more than Marvel stuff. So it's interesting to see the lapse or the big gap between the two once I feel like the MCU started and Disney acquired Marvel. It's a very because I always tell people before 2008, DC had the superhero game on lock. So it's very interesting to see comically at least right now. And I mean, even with the DCU and Superman, that's one of my favorite superhero movies actually. It's very interesting to see them find, I think, their footing with the new age of fans and again, like I said, in these past 4 or 5 years, comically, man, they just been knocking it out of the park. Alicia, I want to kick it over to you because you were with me most of the con. Did you have like a favorite announcement or like panel that you've seen that or anything that came across when we was walking around?
So I didn't go to any panels because I missed them because I was too late to them. But I am excited for the My Hero Academia video game that's going to be coming out. Out of everything, that was like the only announcement that I like really saw, and I got to play like an early screening of, and it was pretty dope. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's all.
we got to I wish we could have played each other,
I
like,
know.
but it was or played as a team, but it was still cool. I got to play right I was right there with you and we both won, so that was awesome.
Did
We did. I might have to pick up that game. I'm loving the new My Hero anime right now, so I might just have to pick up the
good.
game.
What kind of game is it? Is it like a 1v1 type of thing, or
It's
It
like
was 3v3, wasn't it?
yeah, because you could switch. So
Yeah.
it was like a
um,
3v like
Nah, it
it,
was 1v1, but like you had like you could
mhm,
select up to 3 characters and then your team or your enemy could select 3 characters and then you can switch between the characters. It was like a battle arena, like a Dragon Ball game or
like
okay.
one of the
Sparking Zero.
old Naruto games. Yeah. But just My Hero skin characters. But it was still pretty solid. I was pretty
It was
surprised.
great.
I'm usually when it comes to those like anime type games, I'm usually a little because I grew up playing the Naruto and Dragon Balls. So I'm always skeptical when it's new characters like they had the Demon Slayer one, the My Hero one because to me it just feels like reskinned, you know, of these same games that I grew up playing. But this My Hero one was pretty solid. The way you could move I was like, okay, I feel like they really immersed these characters in that world. So it has me interested. Josh, I know you got something for me, man. What was the panels? Because I know you had a lot that you wanted to go to and
Yeah, I
announcements.
I didn't get to go to any panels as much as I wanted to. I think, timing just didn't work out for them. But I agree with you. I think Marvel nailed it on the releases that they had, the exclusives that they had. That Wonder Man trailer. I'm super excited for the direction of where that's going. X-Men 97. I that's one of those ones that's such a nostalgic thing for me, and the first season was so great, so we're getting another season, we're getting more characters, we're getting more story. I love that. And I'm a big toy collector, so Hasbro Pulse, letting us know what's coming down the line for Marvel, and Ghostbusters line, which is really cool. So a lot of toy announcements, which was really great. I know we went over to the SH Fig Arts booth and seeing that Spider-Man and that Cyclops figure from the Gameverse line coming across from the Capcom fighting game. Oh my God, I can't wait for those figures. So it's really good.
Did those figures? they haven't came yet, right? Like they haven't came out yet, have
Yeah,
they?
they come out next year. I pre-ordered both of those, so seeing them in person, I'm like, okay, I'm really glad I pre-ordered these.
Yeah, yeah, they were awesome. You made me. I told you I was like, I have the spider. I'm looking at them right now. I have the Spider-Man collector. Well, I look at the other ones behind me, right? Yeah, Spider-Man collector's edition from the first game, and then I got the one with the what is it? 9 inches of venom is how they
Mm,
put it online.
19.
Uh, it was 19 inches of venom. Yeah, I got that one up here on this shelf. And I told you when we were at the con, I'm like, do I need another Spider-Man figure? And you were like, yes, yes, you do, especially
yes,
this
you do.
one. And I was like, all
Especially this
right,
one.
all right. So it's got to be on the list. I got to pre-order it. But speaking of figures, that figure I wanted. That guy, Alicia told me to buy it. She was like, you should just buy it. I was like, I don't have room for. I have no space for it at this point. Like I feel like Kaz, when you collect comics, bro, and you run out of space for comics. I feel like I'm in the middle of both of those issues of I'm running out of space for not only comics in my like all of my boxes, but now I'm also running out of space for figures, and I have no idea what to do with them.
I had to put a lot of my figures in like boxes, and a lot of my comics aren't even in long boxes. They're in like tubs because I can't buy like long boxes and bags and boards fast enough. Like I have so many like unbagged and boarded comics that I need to catch up on and bagging and boarding them, and I just can't buy bags and boards fast enough. I'll buy like a 200 pack, sit there and bag and board for a couple hours, and then I've barely made a dent, and I'm like, all right, what's the point?
Yeah, I seen I think it was the comic explained on Twitter. He was like, somebody said something like that. He's like, I will bag and board my books today, and he was like, my brother in Christ, they do that for you at the store. I was
Not
like,
every store,
not every
not
store,
every store.
not my store. That hurt my soul. But Josh, you really got me thinking about these toys, and I should have bought that Doom, man. But I'm gonna kind of jump a little bit ahead, I guess, because we're talking about things that we wanted to buy or things that we saw. I want to ask you guys, Josh, kick it right back to you because I know you have all of the stuff there lined up. What did you buy? Start showing us
Oh my
I'm not
God.
showing anything. So if you guys want to show things, you're more than free. I'm just gonna talk about it. But please show me, what did you buy, Josh? And then the second question, because I know Diane might have killed you. Did you stay within your budget?
Yeah. So I pre-ordered some things specifically for the con because, like I said at the beginning, I love this time of year. Halloween is my thing. So, I got the special edition lanyard. I got the shirt. I got let's see. I got the keychain. I got the pins.
I need
Those
that pin.
pins killing me. I know. You got to get them. I got the magnet. Look at that. Look at that. The bag. That design, so brilliant. That made me
Genius.
so unbelievably happy. You know, I love that one so much. Um, I got just, your classic little
I
New
got
York
that
Comic
one.
Con. That one's going on my bag. I got that design, that Halloween design as a sticker.
That's the pin, the cat one, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was like their main thing, and then I got like they had like a whole sticker set, so that's all going on my water bottle.
Mm.
Um, I got these here. I'm gonna line them up. Show you what I got here. Let me give me a second
While
because
he's
the one
doing
is
that,
special,
I want to tell you, I keep
special.
telling him I really regret not getting anything with that bag with the New York Comic Con upside the ghost bag. Like he said, that's a brilliant, like a genius design.
Oh my
So
gosh.
this was one of the exclusives from Culture Fly, and it was this 3-pack that they had of these little miniature figures. And I was fortunate enough to get that translucent Scooby, so I put them there on my light so you could really see them.
Hmm.
But it's the whole Scooby gang. They had the villains, they had Shaggy and Scooby. I got a bunch more. That was, I think, one of the things I spent the most money on were those figures. Which are great. I love them. I don't know if you remember these from when I was a kid. They had these little figures exactly like that, solid color. They were called Muscle Men, and they like kind of had them from all various different places over the world. And this was cool to kind of see those come back. And I love Scooby. Again, this time of year, I always think of Scooby Doo at Halloween, so that was a good one. And like I was talking about with the Hasbro stuff, this was actually for my wife, which was their exclusive figure. It's the Super Scroll. I don't know if you can
Mm.
see him there. There we go. In that 92 trading card design with stats and everything on the back. So yeah, I got those. I got a couple other things from the con, but I stayed within my budget.
Nice.
I actually was under budget, and I wish I had gotten a second one of those Super Scroll figures. So yeah, I stayed well within it. I think most of it went to food. That was the big thing because food was expensive at that convention center.
Yes,
But
it
yeah,
was.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was. Food was expensive, and I bought the same thing like for 2 days straight. Freaking
likewise.
them turkey sandwiches at the grab and goes and a bunch of coconut waters. It was coming out to like $23. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
Man, I'm happy for you that you stayed in your budget because I absolutely did not, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary friends of them. I was I stopped counting after this hit number, but I was at least 250 $300 over budget. At that point, I was just like, I'm not gonna count anymore, and I'm just gonna live at this point my life and
there you go.
live my best life because what is the point of counting? And then I got home and I was like, yeah, you know those memes where it's like ramen noodles for the rest of the. Thankfully, mom's was like, yo, I'm gonna send you food. I was like, please. So I went to go pick it up because yeah, it was real. It was real. But we good. We good. Kaz, you said you got a lot of comic signs. So is that what you spent most of your budget on right there?
It's what I spent all my budget on. I don't think I bought anything else at the con except for signatures, which I'm proud of myself for because the only reason I didn't buy a whole bunch of stuff is because I stayed in Artist Alley. If I would have walked around the floor too much, it would have happened. But I packed light. I didn't have a lot of room in my suitcase, so that kind of helped keep me within budget. Um, but I think the coolest thing I got signed was
Oh, I love that Superman hollow, like that
Right.
that Batman in the corner with the top hat. That is
That's right.
great. That is genius, bro.
oh, that's Susan.
That's
I was at Scott Williams and Alex Sinclair's booth, the colorist and inker for Jim Lee. They do all of like Jim Lee's coloring and inking. And they were like, I was like, all I need left on these signatures are Jim Lee, but I couldn't get a ticket for his booth. And they were like, oh, he's doing a pop up signing right now at his son's booth. So I walk over there, no one in line. I paid for two signatures, and the first one he did was this Superman one, this from Brian Azzarello.
Oh
He
yeah,
did it. He did it in red, and he was like, you can't really see it. Here, let me do this," and then outlined it in black, so it's 3D. So that's the first one he did,
wow.
and then he signed this one, but it was taking a while to dry because it was like wet up top. So he was like, "Here, let me fix it," and drew a little bat. So he did a free remark, and it still wasn't drying. So he was like, "Here, I'll just sign one more for free." And I had this one on me, but I had bought it signed, and he was like, "Oh, I don't want to sign it again," and just drew a little bat and did his initials below it and did that for free. And Jim Lee's like my favorite artist of all time, so
is
it
Jim
was pretty
Lee.
cool. Yeah, so two remarks and an outlined signature for just the price of two signatures. It was the coolest part of the
That's
entire con.
awesome.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. Oh my god, that's awesome. That's huge, bro. Fuck, you got me jealous as hell over here.
It
That's
was
awesome,
awesome.
bro. Like,
And then I
shit,
spent a
bro.
lot of the rest of the time trying to get all the signatures on my Marvel Deadpool crossover or Batman Deadpool crossover because there was like six of the like 18 people on the creative team there.
Yeah,
Oh
So
wow,
I was asking if they wanted to sign in red or blue, and I was just kind of getting different sigs across it.
yeah, that's awesome, yo. You really,
that's awesome.
I was really thinking about going to the Jim Lee booth, and and the only thought process I had in my mind and why I didn't get the ticket, I was like, I just know that's gonna be half of one of my days right there.
It
Like I feel
is,
like
yeah.
it, I know it's gonna be like the whole. So
Because the
I'm
first
good.
time I went to New York City Comic Con 2 years ago, I bought a ticket specifically for the Jim Lee signing, and they were so unorganized. Instead of it being an hour long line like it was supposed to be, we were there for almost 4 hours, and we finally got it signed. And but this time he had one of those again, but then he just had a random pop up at his son's booth, and I was like, yes. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
That's
clutch. That's
awesome.
clutch. That's real clutch. That was like the universe working right there, man. Okay, Alicia, last but not least, tell the people, good people at home, what'd you buy and did you spend or did you stay within budget?
I definitely stayed within budget.
Happy
Similar
for
to
all of you.
Cause, I literally had a carry-on suitcase that mainly had my 4 days of clothes in it. So that helped me, I think. But I got the Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. Um, I'll show you the cover. This is the first volume. So I got that, and I got all 6 volumes, and the creator signed all of them, which was really cool. And I also, I mean, I got other stuff, but like the main thing that I got that I actually really, really like, I actually ended up leaving in New York. I know.
What was
I
it?
need to go back. It was my fidget, my Jeff's fidget. I know. I
The little
Yes, I got a Jeff fidget. It was like a keyboard fidget. So it's just like one key with Jeff's face on it, and you just click it, and it was literally the like out of everything I got, that was my favorite thing, and I left it in New York. So yeah,
I'm hurt for you because the
I
only reason I got some of my pins was because you bought that at that thing. That booth was hard. I got some of my pins, like Marvel rival based pins because of that. I'm hurt for you. You sure you didn't? Did you leave it with me?
I hope so.
Yeah, if you didn't, you didn't because I definitely looked through
You
everything.
have
You
my
definitely did.
charger. I know that.
I do. I gotta ship that to you. I bet. Yo, yeah, you'll have to send me your address. I
Yeah.
forgot. Oh, your new address because you're moving to New York now. You know what I'm saying?
No, no, I'm not. I'm not moving
You're
to New
not.
York.
Okay, whatever.
It
We're
doesn't
not
matter.
telling. Shh. Um, I guess that brings me, I guess, to my final question I got for y'all. Um, because we did, Josh mentioned it a lot earlier, so I'll kick this right over to Josh first. Um, we got to meet a lot or see a lot of cosplayers. Now, Cos, you said you was in Artist Alley the whole time, so I don't know if you got to meet or see any like crazy, crazy, even though they do walk around there. I'm not saying they don't, but crazy, crazy cosplays. But Josh, what, who, or what was your favorite cosplay or character you saw?
Oh my God, there's so many.
You can give me a list. You can give me a good top
God,
five if you
okay,
had
okay,
to. Like if you
okay.
can't
All right.
narrow it down or something. Top three,
There
whatever.
was a really, really absolutely fantastic Moon Knight from Marvel Rivals. In the I think it's the was it the Bushido skin or something along those lines? I can't remember
The
what
Lunar
the
New
name of
Year
it.
skin.
The Lunar New
I
Year
think.
skin. There
I
it is,
think
right there.
that's the one
And
with the teal and like the
yeah, yeah.
demon head. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so well put together. That was absolutely fantastic. Um, there were just like I mean there was a scorpion that was phenomenal, and that guy was hilarious. Um, and there was a like oh my God, I mean there was tons of Jeffs. There were tons of um Emma Frosts. There were like tons of just people celebrating their favorite characters and stuff like that. That I think was to me the best part. Like being able to see somebody and look at the work that they put into their cosplay, and show how much they appreciate their fandom. That was really great, and I loved it. You know me, I love to cosplay, so getting to take pictures with people that were excited to see mine too. That was awesome.
I mean, you make your cosplays from scratch, man. So it's definitely something I know you take pride in and appreciate others who do the same and make and do a lot of
Absolutely.
hard work. One that you just kind of brought to my attention or like highlight was speaking of a Marvel Rivals character was how quick that guy made that freaking Daredevil skin
Yes,
from
that was
Marvel
the
Rivals.
other one. Ah, insane.
He literally had less than a month to do that. I have
Yeah.
no idea how he did that. That was probably one of my standouts for sure. Um, we seen so many Jeffs. I seen so many Deadpools, so many Spider-Men, but the one that warmed my heart the most that I seen, honestly, was seeing so many freaking Supermen. And I felt like this was the first time, like, I'm like, "Oh, we here now." Like, we're actually like, because you always see Batman and Catwoman, you always see Joker and Harley Quinn, and you do see Superman every once in a blue, but it's not like it's maybe like you see 4 or 5 at the con. I've
Mhm.
seen as just as many Superman as I've seen Spidey, Deadpool,
Oh, yeah.
Jeffs, and that kinda warmed my heart. My standouts, though, if I gotta tell y'all my standouts, I don't know if you guys seen well, I know y'all seen it because I don't know if you've seen this guy. I'll have to send you pictures. There was this guy that was dressed up as Mandalorian, but he had the build and, like, color scheme, and it was like the build, everything was Buzz Lightyear. And then instead of having Baby Yoda or Grogu in the satchel, he had Grogu in the satchel, but he had the 3 eyes like the aliens from Toy Story. So it was like and then he
That's
had
cool.
the yeah, he had, like, the everything, the all of the Mandalorian stuff was, like, fit to be Buzz Lightyear. Even the build had the big pudgy, like, chest plate, it was crazy. That was probably my highlight. Another guy from anime side of me, I didn't get a picture of him, and I'm really sad I didn't, and I said I should have interviewed him, but he got pulled when I was waiting in line to take a picture and for the New York Comic Con sign. He got pulled for another interview, but he was dressed as Ken Kaneki in his, like, full form from Tokyo Ghoul. So he had, like, the white hair, the crow's mask, the tentacles coming out, and I was trying to figure out how the hell he even did all of that. And then lastly, I would probably say me and Alicia saw this one. We got a video of this guy. He had a crowd standing around him for at least like 5, 10 minutes, bro. Like it was crazy. And that was Chainsaw Man. But from another anime. But what was cool is the chainsaws were actually working, like actually
Oh
moving.
shoot.
And
Yeah.
none of us like no, I was like, how could he do like how did he get those to work? His eyes were glowing where the character's eyes glow like inside the chainsaw. It was fascinating. So that was probably my top three. Alicia, I'll kick it right over to you. If you have any standouts, any top characters or cosplays that you've seen.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say the Chainsaw Man was like the most impressive one in my opinion that I saw, other than of course, Josh Bishop. But yeah, the
Yeah,
Chainsaw
he was the only Thor. That was crazy.
your Thor, I think so. The thing is with you, Josh, like I think this is my first time seeing you cosplay like next to you and like helping you like, take pictures and stuff. So and also like seeing people fan over you too. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm with a celebrity right now.
He was the only Thor, yo. Like he literally the whole con, I
That's
did not
very
see
true.
one other
Yeah,
Thor.
you're right. Oh my
I don't think I
gosh,
saw
that's
any
so cool.
Thors.
You were the only one. It's rare. It's rare. Um, but yeah, aside from that, the Chainsaw Man was absolutely insane. Like just the fact that he was able to make the chains like come out of his head, his arms. I was like, what in the world? How is this even possible? There were other people who did Chainsaw Man, but like that was like the best one. I wish I knew their at or something so y'all could see it, but it was just insane. And then also like I really enjoyed seeing all the like people dressing up as their favorite rival characters from Marvel Rivals. I love that. And then even getting to like, well, this is not a cosplay, but getting to like meet the voice of Namor from the game. So that was cool too. So
We told him we was like, "Yo, can you do your ultimate line?" He said, "I don't have one, but I could do the horn." I said, "Yo, do the horn."
do the
He
horn.
did the horn. We got it on video. It was great.
It
Got to put that on. Got to put that on the social soon. He was
absolutely
really kind too. Like,
was.
yeah, I'm with you. Seeing all the like I said with the Daredevil guy, seeing all the Marvel Rivals characters, I think that's something else that I really loved about Comic Con this year was and specifically the game Marvel Rivals. I'm really appreciative of that game because I think it made what it did what the MCU couldn't. And I hate to say that on pod, you know what I'm saying? But it made people want to read comics. It made people like want to learn more about their favorite character that they're playing. They made me not even like it. Like one of my favorite characters is Black Panther. I despise Black Panther in Marvel Rivals. I will never probably play him. I don't want to play him. I hate the character I want to kill him every time I see him. I hate him.
He's
But
so tough too. Like the dashing and the spear and the. I
I
don't like the
hate him.
melee characters. I can't stand melee
Yeah,
characters.
I'm not a yeah. We here, and so like that was another thing. There was only one Black Panther at the con. That one guy that we seen, and he was built tall, built like, and I'm not saying built like Aki. He was Aki, but he was like cut up to where he looked like he was Black Panther. I was like phenomenal. Never have seen another besides Chadwick Boseman. I don't even think I've seen another Black Panther that could do it that well, bro. Like, so shout out to him. But yeah, I think to Alicia's point though, like a lot of seeing a lot of people show love for Marvel Rivals, and I'm really appreciative of that game because it's making people become fans of the characters and they want to learn more about them in the comics. So I think that's really
Yeah.
great. Because end us off, bro. Who was your, if you had any standouts, characters or cosplayers that you know of?
I wasn't like actively looking just because I was so focused in RSI, but I do specifically remember three that I really liked. There was a absolute Martian Manhunter. So it was just a guy in a suit, but he had the inflatable Martian Manhunter on his back. So it looked like the cover of the comic. So that one was really cool. I think Javier Fernandez, or not Javier Fernandez, Javier Rodriguez posted him on his Instagram.
Okay,
He
I'm
was
about
like
to
one of
take
the
a look
only
at it.
absolute Martian Manhunters. I saw a Deadpool, but he was Pikachu themed. That was pretty
Oh,
cool. Yeah, so he was like
We
the
see
whole
that.
yellow scheme. He had like the ears coming off of Deadpool mask, but it looked just like Deadpool's like suit from the movie. And then my favorite, my friend Marcus had a friend with him who dressed up as like the Thing, if the Thing was a pimp, and that one was pretty funny.
Oh, I
Saw
saw that
that
one
one.
too.
Yeah.
He was funny. He had just bought like the gloves and the mask of the Thing, and then put a pimp costume over it. It was pretty cool.
That's funny, yo. That's funny. I didn't. You seen that one, Alicia? Did we take a picture of him?
No, but we were passing by, and I was like, "Oh, Jam, look."
Yeah.
Did he have the hat on too?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
It was all
Okay,
purple.
I
with
remember.
Deadpool.
Yeah. That was funny. That was funny. Yeah, man. There was just so many great cosplayers. One thing that I regret, Josh is always on me about it, so it's great that he's on here on the pod with me. But I always wait till last minute to do my cosplays. Like I was texting him maybe 2 weeks before, like, all right, I got to figure out what my cosplays are, and so I always it's either I go above and beyond in those 2 weeks, or I'm very again minimal. And I was telling him when I travel for New York Comic Con because like we're all in different states, we're not all in New York, right? So it's hard for me to bring all of this stuff in a suitcase to then try to cosplay and all of that stuff. So I try to pack as light as possible. So I was thinking like smaller cosplays, smaller things. But when we go to our local one here in Richmond, Virginia, that's what I'm trying to go all out. So I think that was like my one thing I feel like to kind of end us off and I want to ask you guys, but that's like what I missed out on was going crazy for the cosplays because I had to actually get a Sentry, the guy that was Sentry, for me to take pictures for people to even know who I was one of the days. So that was like you know what I mean? Like things like that. I'm like, nah, next time I gotta go crazy. I gotta make sure I'm like I'm seen, my cosplay is seen. Um, so yeah, that was one of the things I missed out. But Cos, I want to throw it right back over to you. What is there anything that you felt like? I know you said you was only really for the comics and Artist Alley, but is there anything that you missed out on or felt like you would have liked to go see?
There were actually a couple people I didn't get signatures from just because I was either working at the time that I needed that they were like doing their signings, or like James Tynion had a late signing at like 6 p.m., but I was already like exhausted, so I just left. Um, Scott Snyder, I never got really a chance to get into his line. So there were like a few people that I didn't get to meet, but there are people that go to a lot of cons that it'll happen again eventually.
Yeah, yeah. I was lucky. I have a picture. I don't know how this happened on Sunday. So I kind of wait. I always time like who if I'm going all the days, I'm like, who's the most famous person that everybody's gonna be there. And I plan that person if they're gonna be there Sunday for Sunday. So Scott Snyder, I got there around like 10:15ish. I was already late walking in the doors and everybody's, in the con already. And I don't know how this happened, but when I got into Artist Alley, I set my stuff down behind. We actually, and I want to shout him out too. Our friend Joey Mason, actually had a booth at New York Comic Con, so I want to shout him out because he does great work. One of the things that I bought is a poster, a signed print from Joey, and it's 1 out of 100. I think I got number 97. And it's from Deadpool and Wolverine when Deadpool comes to walk up to Wolverine and he's in the bar and he's just having that that suit on. Actually, I think that the coat that you seen me in was I when we met that day was I in the Wolverine cosplay? don't
Yeah.
even remember. Yeah, so yeah, that coat that I had on, and he's in that coat.
I think you had the coat off. Yeah, at the time.
I probably had the coat off. Okay. But he's in that like that wool whatever furry coat,
I
and
think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
and so shout out to Joey because I got a couple great things from Joey, and he just was holding it down with space too at the con. He was helping us out with a lot of space issues, and I got to help him work out the booth, which is a great thing. That was actually one of my highlights I wanted to highlight. But um, one thing that I try to do, bring it full circle, is with Scott Snyder. I got a picture. I was actually one of the first. I was actually the first person in his general admissions line, and I don't know how that happened because I got there. It was like 10:20 by the time I set everything down and walked over to his side, and there was nobody there. I'm like, y'all got tickets? Like, I still got tickets? They gave me a ticket. They were like, but y'all can't linger around here. I'm like, bro, it's Comic Con. I can go sit right there and nobody's gonna say anything to me. And that's exactly what I did. I sat right there and I waited. And one other guy came and sat with me. And so I got a picture. I'll send that to you too, bro. But I was literally like this. It was like the line just got crazy out of nowhere. And I was the first person in line for Scott Snyder that on Sunday. So I got lucky. Um, but it sucks. I'm sorry that you didn't get to get some of those people signed. I know how it feels. I missed a bunch of stuff, panels more specifically, as well as getting to see some creators that I wanted to see, like journalist creators. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to see them work and people that inspire me and doing what I do with Agents of Fandom. So I know how that feels. Alicia, how do you feel? You said you was there for the vibe. So did you even miss anything? Like
I really was there for the vibes. I feel like if anything, I feel like I missed out on cosplaying because, I do like to dress up, I thought it was really cool though that, we ran into another creator who remembered me and you. Yeah,
that's
like
right.
cosplay from like 3 years ago. They're like, oh yeah, you were Storm and he was Wolverine. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. So that just gave me even more major FOMO for not like cosplaying at this con, because it reminded me of how much fun I had when I was cosplaying last time. So next time, I'm definitely going to be more prepared and think something out in advance for sure.
Man, shout out my guy Static She on TikTok, bro. 'Cause he's doing his thing, and I couldn't believe that. You are absolutely right. I completely forgot that he was like, "Yo, yeah." That was a crazy moment. I do want to highlight out another moment from that really quick that you just brought back up to me. I don't know how I could have forgotten my friend that I met at New York Comic Con when we were talking about our favorite cosplayers or characters, but I have two highlights that I really had to quick, and that is Samantha. Shout out if Sam, if you watching this, we became close because you were my daughter when I was Wolverine. The only other X-23 that I seen like the only other Wolverine I seen that whole con that wasn't Logan. You was Laura Keeney, and it worked out perfectly. We got to take some pictures. I got to interview you for the socials, but it worked out perfectly because you're taller than me. She was taller than me. She was like 5'10" or something, and I'm 5'7". So it looked comic accurate. It was just awesome. And she had the outfit from, I want to say she had either like her comic accurate outfit, which is just the tank, not the Wolverine one, but the tank and then the black pants, the black tank and the black pants. But you could also say it was like her X-Men Evolution, like first appearance outfit. And then I want to shout out another X-23 when I was at Joey's booth. It was a family. We actually walked past them, Josh. We got to see them later on. But the dad was Craven, but he had a very like maybe like 4 or 5 year old daughter with him, and she was dressed up as Laura's Wolverine, but in the blue and yellow. And I thought that, and then she took a picture with me. We got to pose together, and I thought that was cool because to see like even if it was probably the dad putting her in that outfit, to see her embrace it and love it. And she's again, maybe the oldest she was 6. I don't even think she was that old. She was probably like 4 or 5, but it was just so adorable. And I was like, warms my heart. So shout out to the two Lauras. But yes, Alicia, to bring that full circle, I need you to cosplay next time. We gotta do a theme one year too,
Yeah, for
like
sure.
all cosplay together. Josh, round us out, man. Was there anything that you missed out on or you wish you would have gotten to take a glance at or buy or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wish I had bought a second one of the Super Scroll figures while I was there. I had the opportunity while I was over at the Hasbro booth to talk to one of the design leads that's there, Jesse. He's been there since they were Toy Biz, when they were doing the Marvel Legend figures before it was Hasbro. So that was a really cool thing, and that was an unexpected thing to happen. So that was really cool. But the only thing I feel like I missed out on, more photos, wanting to take more photos of people, because sometimes I just get caught in that moment and I appreciate it, and then I'm like, well, crap, I didn't take a picture of it. And then outside of that, there were people that were there that I've been following in the cosplay community for years and years and years. And I'm seeing their posts and I'm like, I probably am in the background of your photo, and I can't believe that we didn't cross paths, and that I didn't get a photo with you. So that was kind of one of the things that I was bummed about, is just that timing and passing ships in the night, not able to connect with some of those people. But outside of that, again, it was so awesome to hang out with the two of you, and to be there and support my bro Joey, at his table and his artwork. That's what I was there for, and I got to do that, so it was great.
Yeah, you just hearing you talk about it, you made me think about how many people like cosplayers or influencer content creators, as well as famous people that I missed out on because I really wanted to see people. I wanted to see Mark Phillips from RDC World, and I was waiting in line for him. And I seen how long his line was, and I was just like, that was around the time of the Marvel meetup for the cosplayers. And I
Mhm.
was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to do both. So I had to make a decision. And I'm very glad, even though I'm saddened that I missed a creator that now has his own comic, and he's somebody that I would feel like, as if you're a streamer or if you're a YouTuber or fuck, if you're a TikToker, if any type of content creator on social media, I feel like in some way RDC World, their videos has, you've seen them, or you've come across them, you've been influenced by them. So to not get to meet Mark was kind of unfortunate,
Also,
but
they have their own con, DreamCon.
they have their own con, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like to not get to meet Mark was a little unfortunate. But on the flip side of that, I am so grateful that I went to that Marvel cosplayer meetup because I was on Marvel's Instagram. I'm on where we are on Marvel's Instagram, so like, or not just their Instagram, but their YouTube, their socials, their website, which I've done that before. But every time you get put on their socials or on their website, it just feels good because you're a part of this nerd community now. And it's like, oh, now you're also, it's like they putting you on display, So it's just a great feeling. So to Josh's point, I think even though there's things that we all missed, I'm gonna always be grateful for the things that I got to, do and got to see or got to buy or, build this community. So, and of course, like getting to meet getting to meet you just like in passing, like I didn't even know you were gonna be there. You know what I mean? Like that was just kind of like a quick, like, yo. So
It was a very like last minute thing. The trip in general, it was like 2 weeks prior. I had
okay.
got the email about coming out, and I was like, heck yeah! I mean, this is my favorite con that I've been to ever. I definitely want to go again. Um, so yeah, it was cool running into you.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to end this off on a bad note with what did we miss out on. So I want to ask y'all, which I think I kind of know the unanimous answer, but is everybody returning next year? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, before we head out, I gotta let everybody know where to find y'all out. So find y'all at, excuse me. So Kaz, kick us off. Let go right back around full circle. Where can the good people find you at?
I am at the Cosmic Collector on TikTok. I post a little bit on YouTube and Instagram, but mainly TikTok.
You the TikTok guy right there, man. You the I told you that's my DC guy. He going up, bro. And I appreciate you when I gotta get back on my weekly pickups, but I feel like I don't know, man. That's just I'm so far behind. Well, I'm only a month behind in comics, but I also feel like that's a hard thing for me to do is do the weekly pickups. I rather talk about them on the pod, like actually dive into. So I would love to have you back and we could talk about like actually deep dive into some comics because that's your stuff, bro. Like whether it's mainly I know mainly DC, but you dabble into almost a little bit of everything like I do. So love to have you back on. and talk about this stuff. Alicia, you have it right there. I mean, Kaz got his right there too. But Alicia, where can the good
Right
people find
here.
you at?
This is my Instagram, Elishar_23. But you can also find me on YouTube or Twitch when Jam decides to stream with me at Illustrious Gaming.
Listen. I stream every day almost all day. Okay, not all day, but every day. All right. And the thing is, Marvel Rivals, man. I'm just taking a little break, because respectfully, I'm playing Ghost of Yote right now. But the real reason is, and for full clarification for the people at home or wherever you're watching this, Marvel Rivals is not good for my mental health. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like it's just not a good. It's just not good for I think anybody's mental health unless you're really good at the game. For me to go to work all day, I work from 7 till 3:30, and it takes me about 40 minutes to get to work. So I'm up 5 in the morning every day, and to get home, to gather my life, to then get on the game and have to deal with sweaties and have to deal with people that make my life suffering. I don't want to struggle. Like I want to get on the game and enjoy myself, not be angry. You know what I'm saying? So for my mental health, sometimes that's like a once in a week thing. Marvel Mondays, and yesterday's Monday. We are not playing it today. We are Ghost of Yote today, but
This is what I'm talking about.
I was like,
Wait,
bro, like
who's your main?
so right now, if let Alicia tell you, it's Mr. Fantastic. It's Mr. Fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
trying to lord Mr. Fantastic because I have a strategist and a vanguard already lorded, both in Loki and Thor. And so Loki is probably my best main character, but right now I'm trying to lord Mr. Fantastic. And it's not fantastic, I'll be honest with you. It's feeling more like
Well,
it's
if y'all
feeling
need
more
another
like
player, I'm a decent Moon Knight.
oh,
Hey, Moon Knight. I like
I bet I love Moon. I want to learn how to play Moon Knight and Bucky.
Moon Knight is so great.
Those are my next two, Moon Knight and Bucky. Hopefully we can get Josh on to come on Marvel Rivals with us.
Josh.
I highly doubt it. I highly
I'll spectate. There you go.
Josh, where could the good people at home or wherever they're watching this find you at?
Yeah, for sure. Instagram, Gray Matter, right there. Um, that's mainly where I'm at. I got a
I'll
little bit of
have all
stuff
of
on
it.
TikTok, but we'll see
Do
what
you?
happens.
I think I have you on TikTok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The only reason I get on TikTok, honestly, is to post and then watch Cosby. I swear. And now Sam's videos. That was the cosplayer. That was Laura. But that's it, man. That's us. I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Y'all know where to find me here at the Jam Pod. I will have all of their socials in the description, and I'm sure they'll all be back for different reasons, different things, but they'll be back. This is us. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Until next time, y'all be easy, man. Peace.